Alright, let's go to the third chapter, regulations. In this chapter, I'm going to discuss about regulations in USA and international regulations. Alright, so in USA, as you might expect it, there are a lot of regulations, but I want to discuss about two, which is BSA, which is, it might be the first regulations in terms of money laundering in USA, and after that is USA Patriot Act. USA Bank Secrecy Act, right? What is this? Let's see. The Bank Secrecy Act, or BSA, mandates that banks and other financial institutions maintains record to facilitate the traceability of financial transactions for investigative purposes. So, before going there, so this is the regulations that that I have discussed with you a little bit when we discuss about structuring methods of money laundering. Okay. So these regulations later is expanded with the US Patriot Act of 2001 and AML Laundering Act, which is gonna be in the next slide. So USA Patriot Act. The USA Patriot Act was enacted after the September 11, 2001 terrorist attack in the US. So after that attack, US create regulations, right, on how to deter and punish terrorist acts in US and around the world, how to enhance law enforcement investigatory tools, right? This is probably one of the milestone of money laundering effort in USA. Okay, it grants law enforcement agencies authorities, more authorities. They expand the authorities of the law enforcement to investigate, to charge and prosecute terrorists. Now let's see international regulators. All right, there are many. FATF, Basel Committee, Wolfsburg, Transparency International, ECMAN, European Union, IMF. They created some kind of regulations about AML. Transparency International, it actually doesn't specific to AML, but they create tools that oftenly used for anti-money laundering. And here there is a USA Patriot Act, which is, yes, it is regional regulations in the US, but I put here, or the book put here, because many companies outside US doing business in US, so that they have to apply these regulations from USA Patriot Act. So for international regulations, I will choose FATF, right? The Financial Action Task Force. So this task force is the headquarters is in Paris. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So you can see the members by clicking this this link. So far, until this date, there are 40 countries of active members. The purpose is to set international standard for anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing. And the recommendation that they are provided is advisory. It's not mandatory, it's advisory. Nations, countries doesn't really need to 100% apply the recommendation as it is. They can adapt them to their circumstances and are generally expected to comply. One thing that I like in FATF is a process called mutual evaluations. So I hope you can see this graphic over here. So what is mutual evaluation process? For example, Indonesia, okay? Indonesia, they will prepare document about how they counter money laundering and stuff like that. What is their applications, how they do it. They will create a technical review report, and then this report will be submitted to FATF, and then FATF will choose a country to do peer review. Okay, to do peer review. Let's say Singapore. Right? So Singapore is a peer review of Indonesia's report. So Singapore delegacy will read the report, analyze the report. It will visit Indonesia to check the actual operations they need to see in real life on the field. And then Singapore delegacy will submit the report, right, of the review. And then in the plenary meeting, which will be conducted, I think, 3 times a year by all AFTF member, they will discuss about those reports, those findings. They will learn it together, and then they will decide if they will check the effectiveness of the reports, of the tools, of the plan, and then they will decide if this gonna be a new recommendations that can be used to strengthen the anti-money laundering recommendation that they already have, and then they keep doing it in another year, right? So what is the purpose? To enhance global standards, right? Yeah, enhance the global standard together. Assessing compliance, right? To check if the members is actually comply or not with the regulations. To identify risks and variabilities in money laundering. Who knows there is a new risk coming up? To facilitate technical assistance. Usually for countries that lag behind, they will facilitate technical assistance using this framework. Promoting international cooperations and safeguarding the global financial system. So this is the ultimate goal of mutual evaluation process. So that's it for the chapter 3. Let's go to chapter 4.